Matt, hi, how's it going?
Howdy.
What a month it is for you. I don't know. Did you pick this timing? Blood and Treasure just concluded its second season. A couple days later, here you are, Walker Independence. What a month it's been.
When we finished Blood and Treasure like 2 years ago, no, I couldn't have written this script here, but it is pretty ironic that we had the finale in the same week that we premiere Wendy, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, few days apart. Two
Yep.
years ago you shot. Wow.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe three. I don't know. It's the pandemic was certainly a whole thing, but we went back and finished. Yeah, probably the end of 2020. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun watching. I actually forgot a lot of the locations we went to. I was like, look at that, we did go there.
I chatted with your co-star for season one, and it does feels like
Yeah,
like 20 years ago.
yeah,
Sophia,
right.
but Sophia was really great. She was explaining to me how the show was not Indiana Jones.
Right, right. It's probably more in the vein of like Romancing the Stone.
Yeah, Romancing the Stone, which I think was sort of a takeoff or a play on Indiana Jones, but
Yep, you're
a
right.
very, very cool show. And also shot in, well, your home base, Montreal, and then all over the world too. So let's start it off maybe with that one going into this one. What was that experience like for you?
Well, it was just, I mean, really, I dreamed of playing Indiana Jones as most kids did. That's kind of what probably made me want to be an actor, to be honest with you. So
Mm,
it was like stepping into your dreams. And, when you go to those locations, there's no green screen. So we just kind of, you were able to really use that to just sort of jump into the adventure. And I was just loved every second of it. It was a lot of work, but Sophia was a great partner in that. And
mhm.
that whole just push and pull of Danny and Lexi, I just thought that whole moonlighting kind of
Yeah.
dynamic, romancing the stone, as we
Yeah.
mentioned. I just love that stuff. So that was a dream project, and definitely kind of got spoiled to go to those amazing places and
Mhm.
you can have access to like parts of the Vatican or parts of places that you a lot of times you don't get to experience. So yeah, it's
What
pretty
I
cool.
what I thought was so great is a cinematic TV show, a very, very cinematic feel to it, a very big feel,
Yeah,
as with Walker Independence as well too.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
how
I
does
like
it
it. Go
how
ahead.
does it
Sorry.
feel to be in this well, I'll take it to Walker now. How does it feel to be in this environment? When you talked about Santa Fe, New Mexico, you said it's like stepping back in time, like when you're filming it. So how does that feel for you?
Yeah, we shoot at this ranch. This western town's been in a ton of movies. I mean, it's like a legendary place. So you kind of feel the cinematic magic there. But you do. I mean, there's this town that's built out, and there's the horses and the goats and the chickens, and when you put the boots on and you walk onto this set, it's like it really is. It's transporting you back into the 1800s. So I don't feel like you got to do a lot of acting. It's just it's an easy gateway, into that
Mm-hmm.
and really fun for, like I said, a kid from Texas who grew up dreaming of being a cowboy. It was just, I'm like 9 years old every day on set, so
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
I had heard that you weren't necessarily playing a version of your character in the present tense in the modern day, that
Right.
it wasn't just assumed that you were going to be playing this role, that you still had to kind of figure it out. So what was that process like?
Yeah, well, I wanted you to feel the consistency in that DNA line. I deliberately wanted them to be very similar. Like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to find ways to differentiate them. So I think that 1800s Hoyt's a little more dangerous, little less of a fuse, and I think you kind of had to be back in the Wild West. He'd actually, I think he'll actually kill someone, and
Mm-hmm.
I think modern day Hoyt to me was like a big kind of a puppy dog in a way. He was all
Mm-hmm.
talk, but equally amused by life and playful, and I kind of like that soulful quality to both Hoyts. If there's a lot of heart in them, and they sort of lead with that in their life to their detriment probably, but yeah.
What do you like about Jared, a fellow Texan like yourself?
I've known Jared for like 15 years, and again, I don't know if it's in the Texan DNA, but he's just like a really great human. is a nice guy. He's fun, just all those things that make life great. It's like he does what he loves and he treats people well. Uh, you know, work hard, play hard. I just think he's a great guy, and there's just there's all the room in my heart for him, and he's like one of the smartest guys, too. He's like a genius, and so I can't keep up with him on a lot of that stuff, but he's so well read. But yeah, man, what a great leader and just a great friend,
Yeah. And then, funny enough, from Blood and Treasure, playing Danny McNamara, and now working with Kat McNamara.
You know what's funny? I've never drawn that connection.
Really?
That's hilarious.
I thought you'd put it together, especially coming from one to the other after 2 years for filming one. But there it is.
Now I know it's meant to be.
Exactly. Tell me what it's like working with Kat.
She, again, like, I mean, what a pro. Like, again, great human, super talented, super fun, great energy. Just like, it's a joy. And she's like so amazing in this role. She's a modern woman who just has this quality. It's kind of timeless,
Mm-hmm.
And she's so good in this role. But yeah, I mean, to be so young too, and just have such like a maturity and a composure and even like raw talent. It's just really, yeah, we were lucky to get her, and she's fun to play games with. She's a big gamer, so whether it's cards or Monopoly, she'll try to kick your ass. She actually does kick your ass a lot.
Cowboy camp too. Just talking about cowboy. What is cowboy camp?
Isn't that fun? I just love that term, cowboy camp. Yeah, it's where we go out to the ranch, we get on our horses, and we all, just training, learning the finesse of it, trying some stunt stuff. Like, I know Justin and I had to ride together, so I had to jump up on the horse while it's in motion, and so we worked on that. It's great. I mean, it's, again, we're all like 9-year-olds out there, but for our show, it's just an important part of, you can't bullshit the audience. You need to get out there and do it. So that's been one of the highlights, I would say, of our show so far.
So tell me something, because Indiana Jones inspired you maybe to become an actor.
Yeah.
You seem to have a lot of very practical skills, or maybe Indiana Jones-like skills. And you also seem like you could be a good fit in this time period. Maybe you're a little bit out of time. I don't know. Maybe it was when you grew your hair out a bit.
That's right.
As well too. So how much do you feel like you could make it? Do you feel like you could survive in this world?
I kind of like the not showering every day part of it, and I'm not having to shave every day. I kind of dig this cowboy culture, but man, I tell you what, it was hard. I bet this is it's pretty brutal out there. So I give these guys a lot of credit. I do kind of like having a bed. So it's probably sleeping on the ground, but I don't know. I do. I kind of fit well in that role. I feel like maybe in my past life I was a gunslinger.
I really like that takeaway too. That less showering. That's the way to go.
I found my perfect role. It's my fiance. So are you going to cut your hair and shave? I was like, I have to keep it. It's part of the job, babe.
But you come in? You had the experience. You knew how to fire a gun or a prop rifle from the 1800s.
Yeah. Well, I did a project called the Hatfields and McCoys years ago. We were definitely did a lot of training there, and grew up riding horses a bit in Texas. So I mean, I had a foundation, but it's been fun I've done a lot of gun in terms of like spinning guns, this has been the fun part of Hoyt. It's very much my channeling my inner Doc Holliday, but that's been work. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of respect for Val Kilmer and those guys that were, that's it kind of looks easy, but I've had some bloody fingers for the past 4 months. Pretty nice. Cool.
Right. And I was going to say, I'd be remiss not to mention that you'd come from Valor, which was a military project, and quite a good one. I've talked to a lot of your co-stars from it. I quite like that show as well too.
Thank you. Yeah, I loved that show. And same for, Anna Fricke, who was the showrunner of Valor, is Creative Walker, who, it's where we introduced Hoyt. But so love those team of people. And yeah, that was I like to think my character on Valor, Gallo, and Hoyt are like distant cousins.
Yeah.
There's some similarities in there for those of you that watch both shows. So I always have fun with that.
Yeah, it seems like you've had quite a run with television as well. Another reason why this is just, does it feel a bit different though? I don't know. Something about this show just feels really kind of, I don't know, special, new, different. It's probably great to be able to talk about it. You've probably been sitting on,
Yeah,
this show for a while. So, what's the experience like that this show, second episode tonight? What does it feel like that the show's finally out there?
I do. I will admit there's something kind of, there's some magic dust on it. We felt it from the beginning when the cast came together. We got a real diverse cast that's really, really genuinely talented. And, they say that phrase lightning in a bottle. It just doesn't always happen, but the chemistry came together just right. And something about this role, you hear again, actor goes, I was born to play this role, but sometimes you find one that you just hear his voice and, you kind of feel how he walks and it just seems to really fit right. And I feel that way with Hoyt. So I just think there's a lot of potential here. And, especially when you love what you're doing, I think that comes through the screen. And I hope that the audience feels that because I'm just having the time of my life. And all of us are. So, episode 2 tonight. Hopefully everyone enjoys the ride as much as we're, loving making it,
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to say for you, it's been sort of dipping back, doing the research, finding it out, checking out what's available. I found a movie that you were in that I had never even heard of before called Undrafted. It was like a baseball movie that Joseph Mazzello about his own brother.
Yeah.
And produced by Tony Romo as well, too.
That's right.
So, and we got sports again. So, I dipped back from that movie to see it, and it was really good. It was different than anything I'd seen. Found it on Prime Video. And then to know that you are a producer, that you produced, and I think even optioned the book for 12 Mighty Orphans. So, that was probably to see that you're, going into producing and doing that work must be something that you wanted to do for a while.
Always grew up just my first love is I was a movie lover. I just love storytelling and, I wanted to be a part of that world. So yeah, I see myself as an audience member first. And I love that you've discovered Undrafted. That's a pretty special little gem of a movie that for people that get to watch it, I love that movie. Simple, but really, really, special. And yeah, 12 Mighty Orphans was my first time, kind of navigating the producing side of things, but that was a passion project to the nth degree. And I was probably stupid and went and bought the rights to that thing and spent 10 years kind of shopping it around Hollywood, trying to get it made. And, period sports movies, it's about a football team and orphanage, during the Depression. So it was really hard to get made in that system, but we just kept hustling that great story and eventually found the right partners and just were able to get that movie made, and it really came together well. I'm so proud of one of the things I'm most proud of in my career and life, I would say, is seeing that dream realized, so now it lives forever. So we'll see.
Well, I jumping off from the movie, I was reading that the coach actually did invent the spread offense, that nobody was throwing passes at the time. To have such an impact on the modern game, I thought was really incredible. So what a story it was.
Yeah, my dad was a college football coach at Purdue and then SMU in Dallas. So yeah, I mean we're a big football family. So that you're right, all that if you know football, it was just he was a genius, Rusty Russell. And his grandson lives here in Santa, or has a house in Santa Fe. So we've become special friends. He's one of the producers in the movie and a really great guy. So
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So tell me about shooting there, because you mentioned it earlier, but I don't know. I feel like it must be an incredible place. You're there right now to live, to be. That it's. I've heard a lot of really good stories about people filming in New Mexico. So what does it feel like to be there? Does it feel like isolated in a good way?
They call it. I've never been here before, and they call it the Land of Enchantment, and I get it because there's. Especially coming from Texas, we're proud of our sunsets, but I gotta say the sunsets here are pretty magical, and it's a very cinematic place. And it is a small town, but the people are quality, and it's kind of warm. I mean, warm in terms of the nature of people and a sense of community here. So I love that, and I don't know if it's like a vortex or something, but there's some kind of energy in this place that just feels special. So I see why people come here, and tell you what, if you're making a movie or a TV show, this is just one of the most cinematic places I've been. You know, you kind of can point the camera anywhere, and it's magic.
Peel the curtain back a little bit for me, because I don't know. Do you do pilots? Do you have a pilot for this one and then get into filming it? Or did you film the pilot along with the rest? You're still shooting right now. What's the process been?
Yeah, we actually did film a pilot back in March. Filmed the pilot, the CW, our network, picked it up to series, and we came back in July, and we've kind of been shooting the rest of the season. So it's funny to think that we're on episode 9 right now. It's been amazing. And we're, because of this town and all the characters, I see a sort of this limitless opportunity for storytelling, and characters that come and go through these towns, as they did, these towns that kind of splintered off the railroad, it's just a ball. But yeah, Santa Fe is great, and great food here for those of you that are foodies.
Because you've been in some really interesting projects. We've had a chance to touch on a few of them. I probably haven't even gotten to all of them, but what do you think is the thing that you're recognized for the most? And also, who are some of your favorite all-time co-stars?
Oh, good question. No, without a doubt. I mean, it would have to be One Tree Hill. I just think that fan base and the reach is something. It's next level, and even generate. I mean, this might be a stretch, but even like kind of my generation has had kids, and like their kids are watching One Tree Hill now on streaming. So it's like it's kind of this living, breathing thing that lives forever. So yeah, it's funny. My dad once, I was walking and someone yelled "Psycho Derek." He was like, why are they doing that? It's like, you remember that? He goes, was that your name? I said, well, it kind of was my name, I guess. Co-stars. I've been lucky to just have so many, my hero growing up was Kevin Costner. And so to be able to I did the Hatfields and McCoys with him, and it was just, really special to kind of meet and work with your heroes, and then, get to learn so much from them. And to this day, I still get to, kind of, ask his advice on things and how to navigate this crazy business. But oh man, I remember I did a little role in a movie called The House Bunny, and Anna Faris was just the first time I noticed what a genius comedian, because I don't do a lot of comedies, and she was just so maybe limitless in her comedy. And then William H. Macy directed the Layover, and again, he's maybe one of the greatest treasures of our generation. So I learned a lot from him, and he would actually give you line readings at times, and he's such a good actor that you would just want to almost record it and go, I'll just do that. That's perfect. Literally, can you just say my lines to me and I'll just do what you do, Bill. So
it seemed to me I talked to so many of your co-stars and people you knew and people you worked with, but I never had a chance to talk to you. But this was really cool. I really enjoyed hearing from you.
Well, it's about time then. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and I really wish you the best with this show and with the run of shows and producing. If you jump back into it again, optioning books, whatever you're going to be doing, I really wish you continued success.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that.
All right. Take care.
Till next time, my friend.